Right. So I am excited. Both good and bad excitement, just to be honest. But I'm writing a new book as myself, and this is about my big 90 pounds in 90 days weight loss that I did in sometime around 2006. I was about 29, 30-ish years old. So I was not planning on writing this until if I ever did, I was gonna wait till I was in my 50s. And that's what I've always thought. I've always thought, yeah. When I first was like in my early 30s, like after I did it, I was like, could I write this in my 40s? I kind of thought that, and then I started getting up towards my 40s, and I started to go, and my obsession with longevity, my health, became like, it started just everything started coming together as I started getting in my like late 30s. Until where now it's like, man, I really do have the how do I say this without, I mean, for myself, I have the key to the gates to get into the fountain of youth. For me, you know, and this is what I'm obsessed with, and I'm doing it, and I'm growing older, and my body is getting younger as I'm getting older, and I'm doing it, and I finally perfected this thing. Finally, it took me that whole time, from 29 when I had this epiphany, this fork in the road moment, pretty much literally, and I put it in the book. I talk about it in this book, and I was 320 pounds, which I don't like saying that, because I talk about why I don't like saying that in the book, because 320 pounds, I was a fat mess, but in my 20s, I was a strong, athletic 250, 260 at the most pounds. So, it's not fair for me to just throw out numbers to where some people's 320 pounds, they're in very, 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 they're like morbidly obese. Where I was a big fat mess, but I wasn't morbidly obese, and I had a lot of muscle on me, and I was able to lose 90 pounds in 90 days, and then I got down. I mean, which was, I mean, that's not the safest thing to do, but I did it. But that's not the whole book explains the reason for the book, and I didn't even do. It's hard to explain. I'm not saying what I want, what I'm thinking, because I don't want to give up the whole thing. But I didn't even title the thing 90 pounds in 90 days. I think I titled it 100 pounds in 100 days on purpose. So that way, and I can still change the title, but I'm going to keep it 100 pounds in 100 days, just to show that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much weight you lose. Even though I did lose more than 100 pounds, but initially it was a bet that I made with my brother that I could lose 90 pounds in 90 days, and I did it. And the last ones weren't easy. The water weight was easy. Once I got down to where I'm going down, getting 250, 240, 230, that was harder. But obviously I never went over 240 after that, and I kind of get close to 240, and I basically kept going down and down. So once I got to 230, that was hard to keep my body there. Plus, I had to lose muscle. I was already over 230 for years in my 20s. Going down to 220 to 230, that was hard. Then it was harder to even go down to 210 to 220. Then I was like, I might as well go down lower to 200 to 210, which where my body wants to always be kind of around 210 right now, even now. But I've got myself to where I could be 190, which I'm 190 to 200 right now. So I can even for a few days if I want to go under 190, which I want to get my body used to being to where I can be in the 180s on a regular basis. So I've kind of came full circle from a small child. Ever since I was a small child, I always wanted to be 300 plus pounds. Since I was like 8, ever since I can remember. So my two goals, I talk about it in this book, which I don't go into detail. I got another book that I might write if I can write it, and I talk about it in this book too. I just touched the surface of it, but if I could write it, I'll write it. If I can get myself to do it, and coming from a good place, like this book, I'm writing from a good place. So it's like a watered down version in a way of what I was going through, but it's still there. It's still coming from me writing it in a good place. Me writing stuff in real time was always through my music. So in all my lyrics, I bled out everything that was going on in my life throughout my whole life with my lyrics, which people don't care about lyrics. But if people want to read my lyrics, you could read my lyrics and you can read, there's all kinds of different things. Some things are, are kind of like masks. People have to know how to read poetry and lyrics and stuff to understand what things mean. But some stuff's just right there, like boom, right there, slap in the face for people who actually pay attention to stuff like that. Most people don't, right? When it comes to stuff like music. But my two goals in life since I was a little kid, a very small child, were I always wanted to be 300 pounds. The bigorexia thing, I didn't know what it was until a few years ago. Because of the internet, people they're talking about it, but I had that my whole life. I always wanted to be huge. I always thought I was little. Always thought I was too small. Always. Like I was 250 pounds and I thought I was my arms, especially with my arms. Always thought my arms are small. Never got into the steroids. If I would have got into the steroids, I would have found out, hey, you know what? That's how you get those steroid looking arms, by doing steroids. But, and you don't have to even be big. I could be my size right now, do some steroids, and these certain areas in my body are going to pop, and my arms are going to be one of them. Even I can stay 190 pounds. So, I didn't know about any of that stuff when I was in my teens and 20s. But my other goal was this is true. My other goal was that I always wanted to off myself in dramatic fashion to where I'm gonna put my stamp on this planet with my own death, and not bring anyone with me. That was not my personality. My personality, it was about me. I wanted to die my own way, by my own hands, in dramatic fashion, and I wanted it to be like remembered. Since I was a little kid, I always had that. So I don't talk about it in this book, but I mention it. I just talk the surface about it, and I'm not going to go into details. If in another book, when I specifically write on that, if I ever can write on that, it'll blow people's minds. Just stuff that's in there. It'll help people out. I mean, if I can do it, just thinking about it kind of like gives me anxiety. So I'm not ready to do it now, but if I could do it, like this book that I'm writing on the weight loss, I can do now. It excited me. I wasn't planning on doing this, like I said, till like my 50s, when I've always thought, just like with all this, with this health, diet, my own point of views on this stuff, I've always thought no one's going to listen to me till I'm in my 50s and they think I'm in my 30s. No one's going to listen to me. That's what I've always thought. Because plus the way I act, I don't, I'm not professional. I'm not an actor. I act like a child, actually. I live like a child. I live like a 20-year-old. So, which isn't a child, but I live like a young, like a young male. I still live like that. I live like a young person in college. And so, I know, okay, I can't pull this stuff off, right? So, but if I'm 55 years old and people think I'm like 36 or something, well, then they're going to be forced to listen to me, right? So I've always thought like that. And then, for whatever reason, I put this in the book. I don't want to give everything about it, which I'm not, but only a few people are going to see this too. And the people that are going to see this, get this book. When I put it out, I'm working. This is all I'm working on right now. I'm probably about halfway through with it, and this is what's I'm kind of torn as far as like business goes, because when I write books like this as myself, these are usually bad business decisions, and this one is a very bad business decision because I'm gonna give it away for free, and just like the last book I wrote, I'm giving away for free. And those are horrible business decisions. Horrible. But that's what I have to do. I got to give it away for free, otherwise no one's going to care about it. So it's just the way it is. But later down the road, in 5-10 years down the road, when people are telling me, man, this is the best book I've ever read on this subject, and people are going to tell me that. They're going to tell me this is the best book I've ever read on this subject. People have told me that about other stuff that I've wrote. This is the most real, because everything I write is real. It's real, and it's just stuff like that isn't out there. Real stuff isn't out there. Stuff that's just that's like personal. It's not out there like that, So stuff that's I don't know. You just can help so many people. And so that's why I'm doing it. And out of nowhere, it's weird because when just not that long ago, whenever I carry two my old California license IDs. I carry 2 of them in my wallet. One of them from 2004. Well, I carry 4 of them, but 2 of them are from 2004 and 2006. The 2004 one, I was like 275 pounds. That was like the beginning of me letting myself really, really go. So I was still like I had like a power lifter look, but I was starting to let myself get way over what my body could handle. And then the 2006, I was 320. So from those 2 years, that was when I really let myself go. And I carry them in my wallet. So every so many, I haven't looked at it for several years, but I'll take them out and I'll look at them. And I don't like sulk, and I don't let it it doesn't make me do anything feel bad or anything. I'll just look at them just to see them. And it's been like a few years since I've even looked at them. They just sit in my wallet. And I took them out whenever, not that long ago, a couple weeks ago or whatever. And I just, like a light bulb, it just hit me you know what, maybe I can write this. And then, I was like, all right, let me start it, and let me see if I could do this, So I started it, and I'm like, oh wow, all right, I guess I'm writing this thing. So now I'm like about halfway through, and I'm gonna finish it. In the beginning of it, I was going, well, let me see if I just not let myself finish it, So let me start it. And I started it, and then I kept going. And then so now I'm I'm halfway through the thing, pretty much. Just guessing. I don't have anything set. I just go as I go, because that's kind of how I do things. But it's, it feels good. And then, like I said, on the other side, I'm kicking myself, because I'm hey, you know what? There's no money in this, and I'm taking all this time and I'm going to do this and put this out and give away for free, and there's nothing in it for me. But what is in it is knowing that it's going to be something that isn't out there, and people who take advantage of downloading the thing are going to, if they really just focus on it, don't speed read through it, don't skim through it, don't look for the miracle, don't, you know what I mean? That's the thing. I know how people are, man. There's gonna be a lot of people who do that, but the people who don't, they're gonna get something that's priceless from that. So it's gonna be priceless, and I just, that's what's gonna come out of that. So it's gonna be worth doing it. So that's what I'm doing right now, and if I could ever write that other one, I'll do it too, because that one's gonna be something powerful, and I'll do the best that I can to find those old times and make it kind of like, it's never going to be the same, I mean, the only way I have that documented stuff in real time is like through like music lyrics and poetry and stuff. But it'll still be sincere, and it'll still, the emotion and stuff will still come through. But just like with this book, it's later, this is over a decade later with this. So and I'm doing it from a good place, and which is the only way I really should do it. So anyways, you have yourself a great day, and eat your watermelon.